we're ready then.
Yeah, go for it.
Right, so hello everyone, and this is our meant to be our second episode of the podcast, but it's most likely our first because I take the blame this for it. I lost the footage of our first episode, so this is officially our first episode of our podcast, which is called On Our Desk. Mainly because we're filming it most likely at our desks, and we
Hmm.
want it to be sort of about what we do on a sort of day and daily basis and about what we come into contact sort of surrounding our lives and so on.
Yeah.
So we sort of thought that name would be kind of relevant. We wanted just a fun name. So my name's John, and that's
My name's
Samuel.
Samuel.
Um,
Hello, everybody.
so hopefully this all turns out quite okay. We're doing this sort of. We're hoping our aim was originally to do it in person, but with everything that's been going on, we've sort of adapted and changed to
Yeah.
going online. So Samuel's on Teams, and I'm doing all the recording here. I've got it all set up through OBS and Teams and so on. And so we'll give this a go and see how it turns out. Um, yeah.
So, yeah, we had a thing for Song of the Week. I remember us discussing this last time, and it was a bit all over the place last time because we didn't know. I don't think we really knew what we were listening to last time we tried to record the podcast.
Yeah.
But this time, I think we're a bit more put together. So, yeah, we were wanting to talk about a song we've been listening to kind of on repeat this week. So I was listening to one song which kind of kept coming up a lot this week. It was a song called "The Yellow Jacket" by a musician I had never heard of before, which is kind of what made it interesting. A guy called Sean Martin, who I know literally nothing about because I only really started listening to him this week with this one song. And yeah, it's a very jazz. He's a lot of very jazzy albums, and yeah, jazz isn't always my cup of tea. I'll be honest with you, but this was it was almost like a lo-fi sort of style of jazz in a way, but it was and very kind of piano oriented. But he's from the band Snarky Puppy, which a lot of people will know. Like any music student will know who Snarky Puppy is. But he's a very good pianist, and yeah, that song kind of kept coming up. And anytime I was like getting stressed or anything throughout the week, I just stuck that song on, and yeah, it's a very chilled sort of song.
Let's see if I can find it. I'm going to bring up the sort of album on Spotify.
Yeah, it should be on Spotify.
I'm just trying to get my Spotify's not opening up the web player.
Oh, right. Do you want me to send the link to you of the song?
Sure.
Just
Let's see
seconds.
if I can
can't-
get the web player up. I think it's just this.
It was a second to get the link of the song, and I'll send it to you. While I'm getting that, do you want to talk about who you were listening to? Because I feel like there's a lot of crossover in the music we listen to be
So-
fair.
This week I've sort of been listening to one specific artist, sort of any of his songs, sort of. I've sort of just had himself on repeat, or it's the group even. Wolfpack, I can't pronounce the name. Sort of it's a chill, sort of lo-fi one. It's sort of been for whilst I've been working, mainly is when I've been listening to them. Sort of whilst I've been working, it's been on in the background. Just sort of a chill music. It's something that's good for sort of keeping your concentration up.
Mhm.
Is my concentration's bad, and something sort of calm and chill sort of helps focus me.
Yeah.
So just this random selection of his music's been on in the background.
Yeah. Wolf Packet. Wolf Packet. I just call them Wolf Packet because there's the word packet come up on my screen. Wolf Pack, or a band I would listen to quite a lot as well. To be fair, it's yeah, it's a band I was never into until a guy who we both know, who I still go to uni with, kind of got me into them, and then yeah, after that, I was a little bit hooked on their music.
I found I googled.
Oh,
Let's
you
see.
found?
I just googled it. It'll be just the Google page.
Oh,
Maybe be a good idea if I shared my screen with you.
it might be an idea because then I'll actually see what you're sharing with everybody else.
So apparently,
There we go. So yeah, he's an American musician.
he's
He's
still got my screen.
Jo-
Yeah.
I've still got your screen. He's an American musician, pianist guy. There's I haven't really listened to much of his music outside of that. It was just the one song got suggested to me on Spotify, and I just kept listening to it, and stuck it into all of my jazz album collections and stuff. But yeah.
Peck's official website there.
yeah,
Apparently.
it's,
So
yeah, they're very they like to give a very kind of low technology appearance, but like their music is phenomenal. Like each of them are brilliant musicians in their own right, and then together they're class. But Sean Martin, his stuff, I haven't actually listened to any, as I said, any of his other music, so I'm gonna have a nosy at the album that came from,
mhm.
Seven Summers.
I think I might have a nosy at it. Sounds
Yeah.
quite an interesting one. So our next thing that we thought we'd have a look at is sort of surrounding like sort of videos and media that we've been consuming. So we've picked out sort of a couple of things that we've been watching as well over the past week or so, few weeks. So my thing, there's been a couple of things I've been consuming a lot about. So sort of with everything that's been going on, I've been sort of doing the rounds and sort of videos about working from home and sort of about desk setups. So quite relevant to the podcast as well. I like my desk setups. I like clean desk setups and sort of minimalistic looking setups. So I do.
If you could see my desk right now, you would realize how much the opposite I am. Like my desk is a complete mess.
So like, I like these ones with just the single widescreen monitor or like two monitors on a nice monitor arm and like the computer there and like a nice clean worktop and nothing really else around. So maybe nice artwork on the walls. So I've sort of gone for similar in my setup, but it's a little bit cluttered at times. Just with the size of room that I'm in. I was explaining to Samuel earlier about issues that I had trying to record a video in sort of 10 feet by 10 feet less than that of space. But yeah. It's,
and then like you can always start out with the best intentions in the world and like have a really tidy desk, and like 10 minutes into working on it, like everything's a mess.
But one of the YouTube channels that I sort of came across and I've been watching a lot about is he's quite a productive guy. He did nurse or not nursing, medical. He's a doctor in Cambridge, but he Ali Abdul, I can't pronounce his name, but he does sort of a lot of productivity videos and how to study and how to work and be productive. He's got a couple of desk setups. There you go. His productive desk setup and so on. I've been watching sort of his videos and so on. They've been quite interesting to say the least. They're a good watch. And then another thing that I've been watching a little bit of anime, which is sort of interesting because us in this British, UK, Northern Irish, Western culture, it's sort of hard to get, especially that some of these are really Japanesey ones. So the ones that I've been watching are from Studio Ghibli. Apparently these are like some of the highest ranking best in Japan. So the two that I've watched quite a few of them, but my two favourites at the moment are My Neighbor Totoro and then Spirited Away. sort of fairly similar storylines. These kids sort of are moving, and then it's about how they have a dream and these spirits. It's sort of quite an odd storyline, but a very, very within the Japanese culture. It's quite a good storyline to them. They're very nice sort of animation style. They're all hand drawn. I'm just showing you some of their art style, some of their Google images. That's from My Neighbor Totoro, and then that's from Spirited Away there. So they've got Disney have the rights to the English dubbed versions of them, so they have got them and they're on Netflix at the moment. The whole lot. I'd love to watch. Apparently, there's a couple of differences between the dubbed and the subtitled actual Japanese version. I'd love to watch the Japanese subtitled version just to see the difference. But I think my sister has them on DVD, so I might pinch them. Depends on whether they're the dubbed or the subtitled versions.
Yeah.
And then,
Sorry.
what about you, Samuel? What have you been watching?
I've been watching. Well, yeah, as I was saying, I've been kind of watching a lot of stuff to do with music because that's kind of my thing. But I was watching a lot of like gear reviews and stuff like that, and just kind of drilling over stuff which I can't afford has been kind of a lot of what I've been doing. But I've been watching a lot of gear reviews and stuff from the likes of like Anderton's YouTube channel and 60 Cycle Hum and stuff like that. There's one video, it was a guitar, which I don't think they make them in left-handed, but if they did, I would be all over it. But his this guitar is like what I think is probably one of the nicest guitars I think I've ever seen. It's bizarre, but I really like it. But this guy's thing is just watch the guitars, because after the ads, the guitars are like filled with like a fluid, like they're not like wooden body guitars.
Ads. There we go.
There we go. But like,
so are they resin filled?
I think it's some form of fluid.
Let's see what the. Let's see.
I find it interesting because everybody's forever talking about like with electric guitars, the tone comes from like the body and like from the resonation through the body and stuff. So like, how can it be the same thing whenever it's like whatever the fluid is inside it? How can it produce the same tone and stuff? But yeah, it's.
So is it a plastic with?
I'll be honest, I watched the video and I've still not the foggiest clue what they fill those guitars with. But all I know is it looks really cool.
PTG plastic gloss finish.
The other one is significantly less productive than this. That's the coolest thing ever. But
it is literally liquid off that may.
Yeah. It just moves all over the show.
On the screen again, that you see.
But
because whenever he moved it, that was whenever a new flip.
Yeah,
it's mental.
Yeah, so there's another. The light blue one is even nicer because although you don't see like the two, like it's like an oil or something he talked about because they don't actually mix. Yeah. They're separate. But he said in that one, like that's probably my favorite one to be honest, because whenever you shine the light through that one, it's very nice. But I sent you, or I'm in the process of sending you another link to another YouTube channel, which I've been watching quite a lot, which is Film Herald. I sent it in Teams there again, sorry. Yeah. It's Film Herald, who do like a lot of reviews and stuff of films, obviously, but the thing I've been watching from them most is their like how to beat horror movie monsters, because I'm not a fan of horror movies and I like horror movies scare me. But one thing I can watch about horror movies is like their videos of how to beat like
It's really the height.
the monsters.
Or
Oh goodness,
just
is how to
started
beat
playing.
the. It's like the thing I really like watching about them is how to beat like the monsters from those horror films, and like how to kind of beat the concept. So like trying to like work your way around how to like beat these things. So yeah,
I could not
I've been
watch
watching a lot of
horror
those.
film. I could not. I hate movie like horror films and stuff.
Some horror films are okay, but like some of them are just terrifying, and some of them are so messed up as well. Like I can deal with scary better than I can deal with messed up, I think, because like messed up stuff just yeah.
So,
But yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
no. So horror films. Oh, no, nah.
Yeah, horror films. I think it takes a special type of person to like horror films. Like, there's people I know who like just love horror films and will watch them like all the time. But yeah, I can bear horror films, but yeah, they wouldn't be my first choice of film. But as I say, I enjoy watching short YouTube videos about how to beat them, which thankfully don't have jump scares in them. Like jump scares just get me.
Like I've tried playing like horror video games. Like I've played Slender and stuff like that, and never again. Never again. Would
Back in school, I played. I remember at break time and lunchtime in our final year of school. This guy brought in his Nintendo Switch and had Outlast on it, and we were playing Outlast. I think it was Outlast, and like I remember like sitting in the darkest corner of like the leisure room, like the common room, and like playing this game, and it just it's just a scary game. And that wasn't even with headphones in. If you have like headphones in, full volume, everything.
I remember doing so me and one of my friends in school, we did the open nights, and so one night, before the open nights, we decided to play Slender. Slender is 8 pages or something, that one.
Yeah.
You have to go and find the pages. Pitch black, headphones, full volume.
Oh
Never, never again.
No. I'm like, that's the thing. Like, I feel okay with watching horror films and stuff if I can if I don't have headphones in and stuff, and if I can hear what's around me, and I know like, okay, I'm okay. But if you have headphones in and like it's dark and you have no clue what's going on around you, like that's why I hate like a lot of VR games, because you have not the foggiest clue. Like VR horror games are like
not horror games, but
yeah.
I'd love to. Been looking at VR headsets. Not that I could ever afford one or get one.
Yeah.
I'd love to get a VR setup. Like.
Oh, that was another thing I was looking at actually, was like the haptic body suits that you can get, like, and actually like feel like you're actually there, and feel like the control gloves and stuff.
Oh, what is it? Is it the Valve Index controllers, where literally it replicates your finger movements, and like
yes, I know what you're talking about.
With their new VR headset. I'd love to give that a go. Like, I remember that when they first came out with VR, everyone said it was going to be a gimmick and stuff. It still sort of is, but there's some pretty good games and stuff out for it now.
And they're making a lot of progress with it and stuff, and I feel like it won't be too long before like that will be what gaming is, and then before too long, I feel like VR could turn into like what most recreation is, because like, if you think about it, even in the light of everyone's like stuck in their houses, right, because of the virus and like self-isolation and social distancing and all that. So like right now, probably that's like one of the things which like people are wanting to do the most, is like get into some sort of like escape of like a virtual reality or something.
So playing games and watching a load of media. I think we'll come into this a wee bit later with what topics and stuff we've got laid out. Some of the stuff that we want to look at later on is sort of quite interesting surrounding that, surrounding what's going on at the moment. That even leads as well into it. But I think having that escape from reality, like I was I never actually got around to doing it the other night just because of how busy the places were.
Yeah.
But I was trying to use it's by Nvidia, the graphics card company.
Oh yes, I know.
Um, what is their streaming software? What is it? Nvidia GeForce Now. Yes, where they're hosting it on their servers and you can play it on any hardware, because I don't at the moment have a gaming PC, but I have like a load of PC games I wanted to play, but they have a free and a paid tier, so I was just trying to get onto machine on the free tier, but there was quite a bit of a queue just to get that escape after sitting in my room all day working. Just another way of escaping from the work and from being stuck in.
Yeah.
So I was going to play. I can't even remember. I think I was toying with Portal 2. I was thinking, or something along the line, something on Steam. Maybe a wee bit of wink, wink, nudge, nudge, Fortnite.
No.
So I actually I've updated my Switch Lite. I have my Switch Lite updated and all, so I might play it later. I've been thinking about it, so it, or I might continue on with Pokemon.
Yeah, both good games.
So that leads us on sort of to what our week has been like.
Yeah.
Our week or 2 weeks have been like. With everything going on, how are you doing, Samuel? What have you been up to?
Yeah, it's been okay. It's been, I'm not too bad. It's been bizarre. Like, I don't find staying in the house as bizarre as like going out of the house at the minute, because if you go out of the house, like, there's some people out and about, right enough, but like going to shops and stuff, like you've never seen anything like this. Like, this is bizarre. But whenever you are in the house, like, yeah, it's weird. It's trying to find ways to stay busy and productive is probably just the one thing that we have to do, because I feel like with uni, with it coming up to the end of the semester for me, everything kind of just got cut off like really, really quickly, and we didn't really know what was happening. So there's a lot of like uncertainty with what's happening with assignments, and like exams and stuff have all been cancelled. So finding alternative forms of assessment is what I was trying to say. But like even with that, I've found that a lot of I've had a lot less assessments and assignments and stuff than I expected to. So in a way, obviously there's less pressure if you've less to do, but I feel like it's been weird trying to find stuff to do as well, feeling like you should be doing something whenever
you really can't.
Yeah, because you don't know what to do.
Yeah.
So almost just trying to create things. Like I've been like organizing a lot of stuff, like for no real reason, just organizing it just to give myself something to do, to feel like I'm doing something productive. So like literally sitting down and organizing like a huge box of audio cables and just like wrapping them up into like nice neat coils and everything, so that I'm not like just sitting there doing nothing.
That's not really a big issue. It's when you maybe come to do it again and again and again and again, the same thing.
Yeah.
That I think that'll be when
it'll start to get worse at that point.
Yeah. For me, I can't really get into the specifics of work, just with the line of work I'm in, but it's been busy. Sort of the start of the week was really busy, and then also last week with everything going on, starting off the week as a normal week, going into the office, seeing as I was meant to be in the office, seen as sort of a key worker, and then being told Monday night into Tuesday, oh, don't come into work, and then sort of that whole transition into can't work from the office, but I still need to get work done, and setting up working from home, and then into working from home, and then this week's just been straight work from home, but it's been mad, mental. Like sort of towards the end of the week, it's been died down a little. It's gotten a bit quieter on my end, but it's still. I know the rest of my team are working really hard. And then also I spent a lot of time because I'm on placement with uni. I've still got coursework to do, and it's just became all the more manic with everything going on that I need to sort of manage it as well as managing my time at home, managing work, everything else.
Yeah.
At least I don't have the travel because of it. But I have had. So I've gotten about, I wrote down here, I've got about 1,500 words out of 3,000 written. And I'm struggling with it because I hate doing the personal reflection part. I hate talking about myself. I hate writing about how I feel about stuff. I'm just a typical flipping man.
Yeah, so I don't want to talk about it.
But like life in general's been okay. It's sort of been hard trying to keep active and productive whilst being stuck in. It's sort of, and especially now. But I know being stuck in here is better than going out because A, you are being safe, and B, you're keeping others safe, and you're helping those that really need it. So you're keeping others safe, you're keeping the health service safe because you're not putting that pressure on them by potentially passing on whatever's going on inside you to others. And then just sort of keeping in touch with other people at the moment. So I'm using this as a big excuse just to be able, like, we've been sitting on Teams and stuff with each other every few days. We've been sort of keeping it regular. There's been days where you've had something or I've had something, so on, where we haven't been able to, but we've been keeping it regular and just sort of having some communication.
Yeah, and then like I've been finding like this is quite a funny thing which I don't think you knew about until the other night, or it was literally yesterday. It happened until last night, but it was literally I thought yesterday was Good Friday. Like, that was how confused I was about time. Like, I thought this was the Easter weekend just because of, like, I completely lost track of where time was. So it's just, I feel like it's been weird, like trying to keep, like, it sounds like we've been in this like isolation thing for, sounds like we've been in it for months. Like, it's literally, it's been 2 weeks.
We're sort of coming to the end of week 2. For me, it's been sort of the end of week 2 because it was sort of half a week last week, but and then I did the week before as well where I had been off anyway. Was aiming just to go and sit in a coffee shop all week, and then I was told they're all closing, or they're all only doing takeaway service or stuff like that, or they're doing social distancing, so there was big gaps between these tables, so it was near pointless in going out. But so it's been nearly 3 weeks for me where I've just been at home.
It's been quite a while actually for me as well, because I remember whenever a lot of this started, I decided not to go to a piano lesson because of concerns about public transport and everything like that whenever all this started. And then that Monday, like, I just decided, right, I'm not going to a piano lesson, I'll review the situation next week. And then after that, everything like just stopped. Like, that was on the Friday. By the Monday, university was just cancelled, and like everything just shut down. And like, since that point, it's been just weird trying to like put together what's going on. But yeah. But as we were saying, it's just kind of about trying to stay productive and do things that you're kind of enjoying at the same time, which is kind of why I think we've sparked up this podcasting again. We've been meaning to do it for ages, but this just, it gave us loads of time to do it. And then,
like, we've been aiming to do this for months and months. Like, I had originally we had originally shot, this is scary, we originally shot the first episode that I've lost 4 months ago. It was
seriously?
Not long after New Year's, because the first episode we had aimed to do was looking at coffee productions for this year.
Oh yeah, and like,
So
Yeah.
we shot it and we
James
were
Bond.
both sitting here. We had it set up here.
Yeah, and I was in that room with you.
hmm In this
Yeah.
tiny bedroom, like. But yeah, it's warm in here actually. Just now, I'm gonna open my door slightly. There we go. That's some airing. So we thought we'd also move on and look a little bit at sort of news articles and stuff that have been sort of common in the news and that would sort of be relevant to us and sort of that we sort of would like to sort of bring up and discuss
Yeah.
that sort of we can pitch in on or like discuss about. So the first one that I've been voicing up about a wee bit on social media about has been the sort of with the situation we're in. There's been a lot of sort of growth in the use of these video conferencing sort of online communication apps and software. One of them called House Party, and the other one that's sort of grown quite a bit, Zoom. And we basically I had came across Zoom ages ago, well before this even kicked off. I'd just been looking at stuff for using for video conferencing and stuff like that. Just and I had came across Zoom and then I looked into it a little bit and I had seen that there was a wee bit shaky, there. I had read some issues about privacy, and then when this all kicked off, I had heard that people had been starting to use it, and then I thought, oh, let's start looking into it. And then as soon as I started looking into it, I came across at least half a dozen news articles, videos, and so on, saying, oh, that there's major security issues, they have major privacy issues. Basically, yeah, that this is not a good bit of software. So,
Yeah.
let's see, I'll bring up some of them. Here we go. Here's one of them here. Zoom. No, the article head. It's from Business Insider. It's saying that Zoom security and privacy problems are snowballing. So basically, they're saying that there's loads of issues and that we're finding out about more and more of them as time goes on. So one of them, that couple of them have been sort of big security issues surrounding how people can sort of webcam hack with it and so on. So that's been on the Mac client and on the Windows client for it, and then there's also been issues surrounding the ability for people to find and get into the open calls and stuff in conferences fairly easily and do sort of some not so nice things. So there's people saying that there's been some quite bad issues with it. Let's see. Let's have a wee closer look at the article.
Yeah, I feel like it's quite concerning because a lot of companies and a lot of universities use Zoom as well, and like my own university uses Zoom like exclusively, like they don't use anything else. So to know that Zoom could be quite severely compromised security wise is a bit concerning.
Yeah. So they're also saying that it might be a wee bit of a hysteria thing, but we do need to be careful with anything that you're using sort of online. But to hear that there's so many issues can be quite worrying, especially for such a they aren't a massive company. Say like Microsoft, like Google, like so on, the other ones that have their software where they can quickly go and release patches and fixes for bugs and issues. Yes, they may have other privacy issues which can be a wee bit of a problem, but they they have the teams and the ability to release the patches and fix the problems, whereas
Yeah.
these are a smaller team. They have said that they're proactively they've cancelled all feature development and put their developers on fixing the issues, but there has been other privacy issues that are written into their sort of privacy notice that can be a
Yeah.
wee bit shaky as well. But it's sort of, it's about being proactive and looking into it, and also being proactive on yourself, so making sure you're using your passwords and so on. But the one thing that sort of caught my eye was last night I came across this article from Business Insider as well, saying that Elon Musk has told his staff at SpaceX that Zoom should not be used. Basically, he's banned it across the SpaceX, which is quite worrying whenever you're talking about the guy who invented PayPal and is quite tech savvy, who's
Yeah.
saying this software should not be used. So, yeah. But he's.
And I think a lot of this could come from just like the sheer volume of people who have started using apps like this, because this probably wouldn't have been a consideration a little while ago. But as soon as like a bunch of people start using it, it becomes a bigger issue. And like it's the same with like House Party. I think you mentioned House Party.
So yeah, I had actually, as we were preparing for this podcast, I had came across another article saying about House Party, and the headlines, is it safe, and then how it works and so on. They're saying that they've also got their security issues.
I didn't know actually. I didn't know it was owned by the developer of Fortnite. I didn't know that.
So they're so numerous posts saying that so they've been saying that there's no evidence. There's been people tweeting saying that they've maybe been hacked and stuff, but the company's saying that there's been no evidence, and so on, and that all the accounts are safe. Again, this here's got the same general suggestion: create strong passwords, unique passwords, using password managers, and so on. So this said, it's about being cautious if you are going to use them.
Yeah.
Like the guy, this security researcher says that he's doesn't say for people to delete the app, or that it's been hacked, or that the company is keeping passwords in plain text or unencrypted, but it is about just being careful if you are going to use them, or if you don't feel safe, don't use them. Like I'm going to avoid using them. If I will use them only if I desperately have to.
Yeah.
Say in your case, because the uni are using it, use it, but use it cautiously.
Yeah.
So.
Because I mean, there's a lot of scenarios where you could use it without needing to as well, if you know what I mean. So
like in this case, I've got Teams set up, Microsoft Teams, which is a wee bit more secure, and you have a wee bit more control over who you can see, so on, because it's sort of a more business aligned platform. But I decided to use Teams because of this sort of, it's Microsoft, yes, they have their own issues, as we are well aware of, but I thought it would be smart to use them. But they're with Teams you have the control, and it is quite a bit more secure. Sort of the next article coming out that I decided, or next sort of topic that I decided to look at in the news, has been sort of the jump in technology use and internet use that we've seen, sort of coming from all that's going on. I'm sure you've been on the internet a lot more. I know I have, like, not that I'm not on the internet a lot anyway, but It's
I, I feel
something.
like it's just for the entertainment side of it for me, because I don't tend to use the internet an awful lot for work, all that much. Not what I would for uni, but like for ordinary like day-to-day stuff, I don't tend to use the internet all that much. But the only thing I think I found is for entertainment and stuff, for streaming and stuff, it started to go downhill a little bit, but it's not hugely noticeable for me. But
Mhm.
it's I have seen it happen,
So
but I didn't. I was just saying, like, I didn't realize, like, it was just probably me being oblivious, but I didn't realize that it was connected to the fact that, like, how many more people are actually
mhm.
using the internet.
So this news article from the Daily Mail is sort of saying that the internet traffic within the UK has doubled within the past sort of 3 weeks with everyone being at home. Um, 27 petabytes, which is quite a lot. Um, yeah, so here's sort of the last 7 days of usage. Um, and you can see them big spikes,
Mhm.
and they're about the normal times as well, and then also more during the day than what would normally be because of people having to work from home.
Yeah,
So the
yeah,
yeah, between the 2 and 5 and the 8 and 11 at night.
yeah,
So I can see that there's and then the other thing that sort of came out of that has been the sort of the pe- companies have had to sort of slow down on the streaming and the reduce the quality. Like Netflix and YouTube have been reducing the sort of base the default quality. So I think YouTube for the past wee while, I think they had 480p or something standard def,
yeah,
and I think they've got it back up slightly now. But yeah, and then Netflix have done the same. They've reduced streaming quality and so on to sort of prevent any issues.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. I suppose it's better to have it there even at a slightly lower quality rather than
mm,
just like not having it there at all,
yeah,
or just having it endlessly buffering.
and then just to remove the slack on the internet to allow people to work from home. I mean,
But
so yeah, no, been um, it's been an interesting few weeks to say the least, and there's been sort of a lot of different things. It's been all over the place, so it has
yeah,
a lot of bad news and stuff like that. And
yeah, that's true.
one of the last sort of news article I thought I'd cover is one sort of I became aware of and really interested in recently. Um, I've been meaning to actually try and get involved in it. It's so it's called so the project is called Folding at Home, which is sort of the ability for people to use their extra power of the like PCs, their computers for good. So say um, they can put it in and or they can install this app and it basically makes the extra performance available of your PC. Um, and it makes it available for people to take yourself for doing research and calculations. So this basically have heard about it before, and then sort of the past few weeks with everything going on again, they apparently have now and they used it mainly was for sort of research surrounding medical fields and sort of cancer and Alzheimer's and other sort of common diseases that are sort of like that. But they've now decided to allow it to be used for um, COVID-19 for the coronavirus, and it basically allows you to install it and then say put your extra computer's power to use to help with these sums. They issue packets of work to your computer, which it can use the performance to calculate. But apparently, since this outbreak has started, the use of folding at home, people installing it and allowing their resources to be used, has grown so much that it's actually overtaken the world's fastest supercomputers.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty mad.
Yeah, and it's been going a long time, this folding at home, but like within the past wee while they've seen a massive growth just of people wanting to be able to help out in whatever way they can. So I've seen a number of videos. So there's a YouTube channel I would watch quite a bit. Samuel's aware of them, called Linus Tech Tips, and they would have their own folding at home team. So you sort of group together in teams, and there's sort of a leaderboard and stuff. But like this is saying, like there's 700,000 new volunteers have joined. Which
that's big numbers.
Which is a lot considering that there was only 30,000 active users previously.
Like that's what? It's like, is my math's wrong? 21 times, like over 21 times the amount.
It's a lot, and like people have been even building purpose-built computers, even though that's not technically what it's meant for. Like it's meant for using extra performance in machines. But like it's now up competing against supercomputers, computers the size of big warehouses, to help find cures and find to do research into this stuff. So yeah, it's been really interesting to follow it. Like I've installed it, I've never had set up and stuff, but was having issues getting connected and so on, and getting it set up. But I'm thinking of maybe setting up again and letting it run in the background. Maybe even on an old laptop or something that I've got sitting about. Just let it run. You can also set it to run, say, if I wasn't using this machine and it was sitting idle, but it was still sitting on, it could sit and do it, and then as soon as you come to do something, it will stop it and let you work away, and it will not cause any issues.
Yeah.
But it's been fascinating watching and just following along with that. So yeah, no.
And like even getting to know that you're helping somehow through that as well.
Yeah, every little helps, even just a wee bit of your computer's processing power, just being able to give that to help do that research. So I think we're coming on to sort of our last wee thing was sort of laid out for this for this podcast, which is sort of relating to our desks again. We're coming back to our desks and our desk setups. So basically with me working from home a lot more, the one thing that at my desk or my office space in my room is lacking is a good desk chair. So at the moment I'm on this cheap fold up IKEA plastic chair, and
I can vouch for how painful that is, because last time we tried to record the podcast at your house, it wasn't a fun time.
No, it isn't a fun time for me having to sit in it all day, every day.
All day.
So basically I've been set a task to look for a new one. So I'm thinking of IKEA, only because it's the handiest for me. Although IKEA is shut at the moment, they're still doing online and delivery.
Oh, okay.
So
that's handy.
Yes, it may be delayed slightly because of sort of everyone's doing it to get their stuff, but I'm sort of, there's a couple that I've eyed up, and shall we just do a wee bit of looking and you can tell
Go
me?
for it. I'll tell you what it was I was going to send. Give us a second till I pop up these messages.
Even if you look on your own and can send
there we
me.
go. That's what I was going to suggest.
No. Already I've seen it.
But it's only $3.99, John.
Too expensive.
um,
Here's sort of I'm
some
thinking
of those are
of
really nice.
I'm thinking of something like that. I'm looking to see. I'm wanting the one with the standard feet
Yeah.
instead of the wheelie chair because it's a carpeted floor and the armrests.
Oh, there was one. Oh,
Yeah,
is that
one
it? No,
like
it
that
wasn't.
but with the arms. So I want it in the. I'll choose it and I'll change the color.
Blue. Oh no, can yeah, you can.
So maybe thinking this one, or they'll show you the other one. So that one, or let's do another wee IKEA, and let's flick to the other camera so that everyone can see. So I'm thinking maybe this one. We'll have another look on IKEA and see.
Coronavirus information
they're
page. That's
big.
what you see everywhere now.
Let's go and look again. So it's either this one I'm thinking.
Get that back up.
Seems quite a nice one because it's height adjustable. It's not got the wheels because my floor's carpeted and the wheels just won't work well.
Yeah.
See that one. So either that one or I'm thinking, where's the really good ones that everyone goes for in IKEA?
Like the leather ones. Is that what you're looking at?
No. There's loads of
There's
IKEA
so many
is
desk
just
chairs.
mad.
It's a lot of desk chairs, Joe.
Yeah, I'm thinking
Ah,
one of these
those
ones.
ones.
They're a
Yeah.
bit more expensive. There, that's the precise one, the Marcus.
It still has wheels, but
Yeah,
it's a nice chair.
it's more expensive though.
Yeah.
I think it would be good for me because I'm sitting.
Like, cause you're there all day, pretty much at this point.
Something ergonomic and comfy.
Yeah.
Now here's the internet issue.
Oh, there we go.
Right. So this Marcus one.
So between the Marcus and the
I'll do
Swedish
another
word, which I
one
do not
more.
want to pronounce.
IKEA. I'll have a look on Amazon as well, but I'm
That's
thinking
good.
IKEA. The ones I had an eye on one on Amazon, but I'm not too sure. Right. I had one of these before without the arms. They were nice. Had it blue with the blue bottom, although I'd love one of these ones, but they're way too overpriced. I'll open
Yeah.
it and I'll keep it as an option.
No, that's quite nice though. Oh, sorry. Can you scroll back up to that one? The ones that you were gonna keep as an option. That one in yeah, in the golden brown. That would be my personal choice if it wasn't so expensive. That's because I like that color.
One of these ones, maybe. Their selection's quite good. Some of
Yeah.
their older ones I didn't like. That one there is maybe nice, not as ergonomic though. Still
Yeah.
got the armrests and stuff. I'd love a sit-stand desk, but there's no room in this bedroom for one.
Yeah.
And they're all too big. As if I was going to get a sit-stand desk, I'd get a stool instead.
Yeah.
That would maybe help as well, because make sure I can actually get it delivered.
There's the Marcus you were looking at again.
Yeah, so you can still get it delivered, which is fine. Hit that one, but with arms on. Right. Do an Amazon search now. Have you seen any?
No, not really. I'm just kind of looking. All the ones that keep coming up for me are like gaming chairs, which isn't exactly what you're looking for.
Yeah, just fairly standard office chair. So I'd love something like I was looking at stuff like that before as well.
Yeah.
Or gaming chairs. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I keep getting.
I think I've got a decent selection now.
Yeah. I think you're looking at stools there as well. I had a nosy at wooden stools, but like for me, it always comes back to music. It was literally for filming a guitar video, and that was it.
Here's the ones that I wish if I had the money. I can't spell them. Is that how? Herman Miller.
They look like they're going to be expensive.
If I had the money, I would buy one from here, but they're super duper expensive. So I'd probably go for the Aeron. Ready?
It looks complicated.
Let's have a look for the price. No, I don't want to join the mailing list.
Ah.
Yep, just get up and leave.
Okay, I was thinking you were talking like maybe 400, 500. Nope. Okay.
Yes. If I had the money, I would buy one, but I don't.
Oh, well.
I think just
That's more
overall-
expensive than a computer. Like you can buy computers.
That was 20 quid less than the most recent computer I bought.
Oh dear.
Yep. Now we can tell why I'm not getting that chair.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I feel like I would rather have a computer than a chair. Like, I mean, you can have a computer and sit on the floor, but you can't really. You can have a chair and just sit and swing around in circles in the chair.
Yeah. Right, I'm going to do up a dock just so that I can
so you can keep track of all this.
Yeah, and maybe send it to.
Are you putting the Herman Miller one at the top of the list? Yeah.
No, I'm not. No, because let's just say someone would go right through me if I.
Yeah. All those are available for delivery. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that's one of the most satisfying things you can do is closing like tabs after you finish something. Like for uni, like if you have like a bunch of journal articles open and like just yeah, it's pretty satisfying moment.
Don't think I got that one. My just closed it again. Grr. Right. I can get back to finishing off this podcast.
Yeah.
We had aimed for half an hour, didn't we say?
I think we'd said that, and then it's kind of ended up being like an hour long. But that
It's
said,
an
there
hour
might
and 10 so far.
might be bits which need cut out and stuff. But
Ah,
like,
yeah. But yeah, I think that's us now.
yeah. So
Yeah.
like as we were saying earlier, like I don't know how regularly this is gonna be. Like how regular this is gonna be. Like I think we were aiming for bi-weekly, but it might end up being monthly. Like I'm not sure exactly. Like
We'll wait and see how this one comes out, and then we'll
Yeah.
sort of judge, and then also see how well this my setup is, how easy it is to sort of get set up.
Yeah.
So far, it took me a wee bit because I've sort of been having to set up stuff for the first time, but I think now that
Yeah.
it's sort of semi well set up, I can probably. It's just a matter of us getting on the Teams call and then just hitting record. Maybe,
Yeah.
and then also pre-prepping the doc a wee bit.
Yeah, so that we know
So-
what we're talking about. But yeah, so kind of until next time, whenever that next time is going to be, whether that's like a week from now, or 2 weeks from now, or like a month from now. Yeah, that's been on our desk, and
Thanks for tuning in.
yeah, thanks
I
for
think,
listening to us.
Yeah, putting up with us more like.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So
But
thank you, and
yeah, thank you, and we'll see you
in the next
next
one.
time.